Welcome to the Inspired Impact Podcast, where dedicated female professionals share how they inspire impact every day. Authentic stories, passionate commitment, lives transformed. I'm your host, Judy Carlson. Welcome to today's episode of the Inspired Impact Podcast. My guest today, together with her daughter Molly, started Clover's Closet. Their mission initially was to make prom dreams come true. I can't wait to hear her tell us all about it. Karen Davis, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for including me. This is a real treat. I appreciate the invitation. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So there's got to be some history behind the mission, the name, what you guys are doing, how it came about. So where do you want to start?
Well, I guess my daughter Molly and I were at a Goodwill looking for lampshades because we were doing a project. And I actually saw some high school girls looking at some formal dresses. And they were so unhappy. Like their faces were just so sad. And I thought, wow, that just really sucks having to get your dress at Goodwill. That's awful. And I ended up coming home and it just kind of stuck with me a little bit. And I knew at the time there was a group in Parker called Parker Secret Closet, and they would provide formal attire for kids going to school dances. So I contacted Molly's school, Castleview, here in Castle Rock. And I was like, hey, do we have a group like that here? Molly's got all these dresses in her closet, just like every other high school mom, right? We all got the dresses. And the next thing I know, Ryan Hollingshead, Councilman Ryan, he was an assistant principal at the time, contacts me and said, hey, thanks for doing this. This is great. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? This happened? And I just was like, I got asked in an interview, not really that long ago, a question of, did you even think about saying no? And I thought about it. I was like, oh my gosh, no, I never even thought about it. Like I just kind of took it and we put it together in like 3 weeks. The outlets at Castle Rock donated a store. And I mean, we had a very low turnout. We had mostly walk-by traffic, but it was our first step out. And we were like, okay, yeah, this is great. The community stepped up, giving us dresses. And, it was a really positive experience. Go forward. The next year, 2020, we were about 3 or 4 days out from moving into setting up the store for prom. And I work in a school, like I saw the signs, the whole COVID thing. And I just was like, listen, I'm just going to put a pin in this. There's no sense in doing it. The kids are not going to be able to go to prom. Like I can just see it. And so, the shutdown happened. Nobody was able to go do anything anyways. And we really sat down and reflected, how can we go from the prom thing into serving the community when they really need it. And we decided that we would create an online marketplace where people could go and shop for everyday things. Actually, anything I could get my hands on. Like I took everything and just put it on there and people could throw it into a cart. And if it was within a certain radius, like I'd take it out to you. I'd drop it off. I'd go drive it to your house. Wow. And I think the most impactful thing that I learned from that experience was dropping off a bag of essentials to this home in Parker that's, like a mansion. And I've got tampons in the bag. And I thought, yeah, see, you can't judge from the outside what's going on the inside. If they got it, they got me bringing free stuff to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that made a huge impact on me.
Wow.
Of course, that's not sustainable. I can't take everybody's stuff to them. I would love that, but it just didn't work. Kind of just shifted to a model of we're just going to support groups that are already in the community and do events, food banks, stuff like that. But that's where my heart is doing those kind of events. We do an event called Strive to Thrive. It's a winter and a summer, like a back to school thing. And it's through the Community Care Network that's kind of organized from Douglas County Human Services. And the back to school event, it's a 2-hour event, and you could be providing clothing to 600 people.
Wow. So
they're very big attended events, and those are very impactful. Like, you want to see people that need stuff, resources like food, services, clothing, the very basic things that you need to keep going. Those are the people that you come in contact with.
Wow.
But especially in the winter one, because then, you're seeing unhoused people, at-risk families, just desperation. And that's here in Castle Rock.
Man.
That stuff is out there. And so it's important. It's important stuff to get out there and do that.
Where do you host these Strive to Thrive events?
Well, so I don't host them. The Community Care Network, they do all of it. We just attend.
Okay.
The back to school one bounces between church in Highlands Ranch and Parker. And then the winter one is usually always here in Castle Rock. But yeah, we'll see what happens. The one this year was not attended as well because a large group of our community didn't show up. And that's probably mostly our Hispanic community just is not feeling safe and didn't come out.
Oh, wow.
So that's an issue.
Right.
How to get services to people that are unable to get to you. So
do you still have a storefront in the outlets?
No. Let me see. We've been in the old Mercantile building in downtown Castle Rock that's been generously donated to us for 3 years.
Okay.
By the owner of the Emporium. Just delightful. I don't know how much further into the future we're going to be there, but it's been nice to have a steady place. Anybody has storefront they want to donate, we're looking.
Wow. So inside that building then are all of the clothing items that have been donated?
So it's empty. We bring everything in.
You do?
Yeah. All the inventory, all the racks, all the decorations, all of it. We bring it in, we set it up. And kids come in and they shop. And, it's great because keeping in mind, that vision of kids shopping at Goodwill, that was huge in the forming of an idea of how to do do this.
Right.
So we knew it's really super important that we maintain the familiarity and
Mhm.
preserve those interactions because they're so vital to that social development
Mhm.
and forging relationships that, you're going to take into adulthood.
Yeah. So the kids, do you set these up around school dance times of the year?
So we'll do homecoming in the fall
Okay.
and prom is in the spring.
Okay.
We usually will run for 3 consecutive weekends.
Okay.
So just to give you an idea, we just wrapped up homecoming
Mhm.
and we served, and this data is just strictly a suit or a dress. That's not all the other stuff that we have, the jewelry, the makeup, the shoes, all the things, because we have boys and girls stuff. 476 students served in 3
Oh
weekends
my
for
gosh.
homecoming.
And so they're at different high schools and mostly in Castle Rock, would you say?
Well, they come from all over Dutco,
Okay.
and then we have people that'll drive in from other areas too.
Okay.
It just depends. Like, they'll come up from Colorado Springs, they'll be out
Mhm.
in the mountains, they'll be out in the prairie, they come in from everywhere. So, but primarily, we're looking at the, Denver metro area.
Okay.
Mhm.
So a student comes in and tries on some dresses, finds the dress they're going to wear to homecoming, and then there's no charge for them to.
We, do not place any financial or geographical restrictions
Okay.
for any kind of we have you cannot sit there and say, okay, you can get a dress, but you can't.
Right.
Because the kid that can go to Macy's and get a dress is just as enriched by the experience as a kid who doesn't.
Mm.
And what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring that leveling of the playing field so
Mhm.
that the kids are all on the same level.
Mhm.
That equality is what
Mhm.
we really strive for. And
Mhm.
so having everybody come in, um, I think really just hits home that mission of just no one's better than anybody
Right.
else. Um, and I think it gives some control to the kids too. They don't necessarily have to come in with a parent.
Mm.
They don't need someone's wallet,
They don't.
for better or for worse.
Right.
But yeah, so they can come in. We just have the rule of one.
Okay.
We want you to go get as close to head to toe as possible,
Okay.
but only take one of each item.
Right.
One dress, one pair of shoes, one necklace, one mascara, whatever it is that you need, you can take it, but just take one.
So then after 3 weekends, there must still be inventory left, and
Mhm.
then you take that and store it until prom?
Yep.
And then after they wear the outfit, if they did this for every, dance, then their closet would be full of these dresses. So do they turn around and bring them back then?
Some do, some don't. Again, it's not something you can control.
Right.
You have to let it go.
Mhm.
But we do. We have a lot of dresses that come back. I had a I had 2 dresses that came back to me and then went back out the same weekend that they came back in, and they were on their 3rd time. And they were
Wow.
big, girly ball gowns, beautiful dresses. And that's that perfect synergy. Like,
Right. Yeah,
keep it going. These dresses want to be worn,
they do.
so we
Um, so at some point you continue to need new dresses, if not
Mhm.
all of the dresses that have gone out come back. So How does that process work?
I collect all through the year. I routinely go out and there'll be stuff on my porch. Which is
Really?
great. But I also solicit from companies too.
Okay.
Um, there's a dress store in Chicago called Peaches Boutique, and they send me beautiful dresses. They're so wonderful and generous. I'm constantly, what I call papering with emails. Like I just send them out. I'm constantly on the lookout. There's nothing I won't ask for.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't say yes one time, I'll hit you up again. So
I
hopefully
would
at some point.
I would think that the early empty nesters would have a closet full of their daughter's dresses if they
Mhm.
had a daughter. And so I don't know how you reach the early empty nesters, or how you get the word out. Because I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And those dresses are lovely. And I love mixing in the brand new stuff that I get donated because that always is like, the kids are always like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I got a brand new tux or whatever. And that's fun. I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how do you find the dresses that are hanging in the closet like your daughter Molly's were when she graduated from high school?
Well, through social media, through podcasts.
Yeah.
Times we'll have interviews on news channels.
Hmm.
We get the word out, and I think from doing it since
Yeah.
2019, I think we're kind of a little bit of a known entity, at least here locally.
Sure.
Um, so at least I hope so. I mean, it's interesting because I get these weird little encounters,
Mm.
like going to pick up stuff at Office Depot, printed material, and the girl
Mhm.
helping me is like, "Oh, I've gotten dresses from Clover's closet," and then
Oh,
she pulls out her phone and she shows me,
wow.
you know, or
That's
we had DoorDash and the delivery girl was like, "Are you Karen Davis from Clover's Closet? I have a dress for you." It's just
oh, wow.
little things like that. It's just so I know it's out there.
Yeah, it is
So
out there. Have you gotten wedding dresses?
shh, we don't talk about that.
We don't.
We don't talk about
Okay.
that. No wedding dresses.
No wedding dresses. Okay. I'm just curious.
We did a bridal event last spring, and yeah, no more.
Okay.
No wedding dresses.
Tell me about the name of your mission, Clover's Closet.
So we have a dog named Clover. She's a rescue.
Oh,
We don't talk about her age right now, but
yeah.
she's getting up there.
Yeah.
When we first got her, she was about 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she had been picked up as a stray off the streets of Houston, which I did live just north of Houston for about 6 years. And she had just given birth to about 5 puppies when they got her, which is probably the only reason why they got her. Because I'm going to tell you, she's slinky. She can get around.
Mm.
But she was so sad and
Mm.
she was withdrawn and she was scared. Turned out she had heartworms.
Mm.
Um, when they took x-rays of her heart and lungs prior to treatment, they saw she had a shotgun pellet in her back. So we figured that she spent most of the 2 years of her young life probably on the streets, just surviving. And she would have moments of PTSD where she would just curl into herself. And that went on for years.
Mm.
Um, and so when we started putting Clover's Closet together and we were kind of thinking about the name, we came up with Clover's Closet because Clover really showed us that even when things are at their darkest, there's still room for hope.
Mm-hmm.
And if you saw her today, you would never know that she ever had a traumatic past. I mean, she's happy, she jumps around, she barks at you. But that took her 10 years to get there.
Yeah, bless her heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very touching story of her life and your care for her and the room for hope.
Yeah. So I believe it. I believe it with all my soul.
I'm sure there are kids who've been through a lot of trauma in 10 years, and when they come and get a dress, you've been through trauma. You want to tell us?
So, just growing up in a violent household and the scars those leave. And I know that my dog, Clover, was just surviving in a violent world. And that just alters your perception of life.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. How did you know, or when did you know that things weren't right in your home and what transpired?
The first time I was told I couldn't go to school because of the marks on my body.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we survive, and we hope it doesn't make us, angry.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow, you can really relate probably to some of the kids. I'm not sure how much you get to have conversations with them or get to know them, but just your manner with them and in your mission there emulates the underlying feelings that you know that they may have because you've lived it.
Yeah, for sure. I work in a health room. I see kids coming in doing things that no kid should be doing. And it's, in reaction to having trauma in their lives. And, no 12 or 13-year-old kid deserves to have to live like that.
Right.
So, it's profound.
You're in a middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the health room, and you've got is it CNA?
Yep.
So when did you choose? Go ahead. When did you decide to pursue that path?
Well, I worked in the significant needs room for over a decade. So those are the kids that have lower cognitive abilities, learning disabilities, Down syndrome, highly affected by autism, things of that nature. And I tended to work with kids that were of the higher medical needs, cerebral palsy or what have you.
Yeah.
So I got the CNA because I worked with a kiddo that was just challenging.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I moved into the health room because I just getting older, hands can't really be trusted as much to do some of those transfers.
Right. Yeah. So. Wow. Well, good for you. You're changing lives in many ways, even in your full-time career, right?
It's fun. I think it's a privilege to be working with kids because, and especially with SSN kids, because I got my things. I got my things going on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a lot.
Yeah.
But I worked with some kids and it was like, if they can get to school, I can get to school.
Wow.
Like they were like so inspiring to me,
Wow.
you know?
Isn't that amazing? It goes full circle, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Like I can sit in here and be, feeling sorry for myself, or I can man up and go to school because they're going to school.
Right.
So, yeah.
So tell us how we can get involved in Clover's Closet.
We have lots of ways to get involved. There's, of course, donations, whether physical, uh, uh, merchandise, clothing, jewelry, makeup, all the things, or financial backing so we can buy the things and pay for the storage and all the things. There's also volunteering, which is a big thing. If we can't, our this nonprofit is very small, and there's a very tight group of volunteers that show up every time we have an event, and they're there and they're doing the heavy lifting, and I love them. I don't know what I would do without them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not growing.
Mm.
The need and the participants keeps growing exponentially.
I see.
But
Interesting.
the core of Clover's Closet is still maintaining that same group of people. So getting more people involved in different ways, whether it's helping set up the shop or packing up the shop or running the shop, or there's a million and one different things to do, doing some marketing, or because I do all of that stuff. If someone wanted to step in and say, hey, I can run the social media, or I can do this or that, that's amazing. It's just hard to find people that have time to do it. Like we all have busy lives.
You
And
mentioned that it's 3 weekends before homecoming and 3 weekends before prom. So when you say weekends, the shop is open both Saturday and Sunday for those 3 weekends, or what's the timing of the shop open?
well, so I take the Douglas County High School dance schedule,
Yeah.
and this takes some doing sometimes. Doesn't always work well, but I try to find as much of a centralized group of weekends that will serve the most people.
Got it.
And it's a lot of acrobats. Like he got some balls, throwing them up in the air.
Yeah.
It sometimes is difficult, but so we'll pick our 3 weekends, and so there's usually like 1 or 2 weeks prior to that where we're setting up the shop, and then there's usually 1 to 2 weeks after where we're closing down and moving stuff back into storage.
Okay.
So it's really more like a month and a half, 2 months.
Sure.
That we're actually kind of moving around stuff.
Yeah. And twice a year.
Twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you open both Saturday and Sunday on those 3 weekends, or?
We're open Friday 3:30 to 6, and then Saturday and Sunday will be 10 to 6 on Saturday, 11 to 6 on Sunday.
Okay.
It's what we've been doing.
Yeah. Wow.
Trying to be open enough to have people be able to make it. But I ran into a situation our second weekend for homecoming. We were going into a weekend, and I had 2 volunteers on the schedule for the entire weekend. And I was just like, I was on Facebook, we need volunteers, we need volunteers, we need volunteers. I wasn't really getting anything back. And then by Friday, I was like, I can't open. We can't. We had 260 kids flow through the weekend prior. We can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
How many do you need in the store during your open hours approximately?
Well, especially with the first and second weekends where the
Mhm.
flow is the heaviest, we
Mhm.
probably need 5 people working
For sure.
on each shift, and I'll have 2 shifts,
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, big
yeah.
need. That's good.
So, I mean, everybody like, well, I made a post of like, I can't open if I don't have volunteers. And of course, everybody, I think I can be there. I can be there. And that was great. And we were able to open. But that volume, 470, that's just tracking
Right.
the kids with a dress and a suit.
Hmm.
That's over 1,000 pieces of jewelry. It's all kinds of other little incidental things that go along with it. So there's all these pieces that are moving. Now think about that volume in a dress store.
Wow, that's
You got a
crazy.
lot of moving pieces going on. And you do, believe it or not, have to deal with people wanting to steal
Oh
things.
my gosh. I'm like, I mean, yeah.
So I still don't know how that works. Like, I don't know why. It's free. I
Yeah.
take inventory. Just bring it to me so I can mark my little marks and know
Yep.
what I have going
Right.
out the door, and
Right.
it's yours.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This has just been inspiring to listen to all that you've you got a backstory I didn't hear much of, but I know that that's in your heart, and that's probably a lot of what's gotten you to where you are today with helping all these kids. So, thank you so much for your
Well,
service
thank
to the
you.
kids. And
It's been joyful. I
yeah,
appreciate the time.
yeah, good.
Well, I'll
Well,
be looking for you as a volunteer.
yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm starting to think about the jewelry that's up in my drawer that I have no idea
All
what to do with it, but it's time to purge. So there you go. I think
right. I love
all
that.
of us have that. I mean, I even think about a neighborhood drive just in the 35 houses in my circle here to see if there's things that, people can freely give.
Oh, that's lovely. That would be lovely. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
Yeah.
bet. Well, thank you, my dear. I guess we'll sign off for now. I appreciate you being here.
Well, it was my pleasure, Judy. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for joining us for the Inspired Impact podcast. To listen to past episodes, please visit theinspiredimpactpodcast.com.